Hello everyone, this is Sanjyot again to do the third session of the series on freedom and wellness. I hope you have been reflecting on how you experience freedom and what comes in the way of your freedom. And you might wonder why suddenly instead of talking about freedom, we are talking about shame. The reason being that this is one complex emotion which Carl Jung called as the swampland of the soul. It's an emotion that lurks in the background, and it is, in my experience, a very big barrier, a break to the freedom that you might experience. Shame has a survival value. Its value was in keeping us in hiding so that we can escape death or attack. And till there, it has a good purpose. But once this becomes widespread, then it becomes toxic. So guilt says that I did something wrong. But shame says I am wrong. My very existence is wrong. And that is why it becomes toxic. So why does this toxic shame happen? This toxic shame happens when your needs are criticized. So I'm not talking about them not having met. But say you tell somebody, I want to be appreciated, and the person says, when you do a good job, only then you will be appreciated. You cannot get appreciation by asking. You cannot get respect by asking. Right? You are also told maybe, that you wanted to be hugged, but the other person refused to hug. Or you didn't want to be hugged, you wanted to be left alone and you were forced to be hugged. Both these conditions, your needs were rejected. And or your feelings were criticized. Don't get angry, don't cry, don't be sad, be grateful. These are denying feelings that are there, that exist. In both these cases, what will get built up is shame. And when will it show up? It will show up in places where you're about to go and make a important presentation, and a voice inside will say, "You are not good enough, yeah. What's the point?" Or you dress up very well and you go out, and somebody makes a small comment and you'll say, "Oh, I'll never look good, no matter what." So it shows up like this also because maybe you have been criticized quite often, or you have been punished for doing something and you associated it with your success. You have been punished wrongly for a longer period of time. All these factors play out to create toxic shame in you. But as I said before, shame lurks behind. It is not out in the open. So it will lurk behind, and what will happen is somebody criticizes you and you will feel humiliated. Somebody asks you to correct something and you will feel you are good for nothing. Somebody accuses you of something and you will get extremely angry, disproportionately angry. It is not anger, it is not sorrow, it is your shame showing up. Anxiety. That feeling of I should disappear, I should move away, will come up when this shame is lurking around. And it will hamper your freedom because you will be afraid to express your needs. You will be afraid to express your feelings. You will become afraid of creating something because, or showing up something because other people might criticize you. You may become very touchy about relationships, and this will hamper your freedom. And people who are shamed, who have extreme levels of shame in their bodies, will shame others. So it will also impact compassion. Compassion for self and compassion for others. And therefore, it is one of the biggest barriers for the experience of freedom. So then, what do you do about it? So, what you do about it is that you begin to care for yourself. What does that mean? It means that every time a criticism comes and you start feeling like you are no good, say the criticism was not for me. The criticism was for something that I created and I can change that if I want to. A criticism is the other person's opinion, and it is only a reflection of what you have presented to them, not of the whole of you. The other is being present, staying in the present moment, which means watch when your mind starts saying you are no good. In the moment, you're good and you're worthy and you have nothing to be ashamed of. Third, and extremely important, is your body. Notice when you feel ashamed, what happens? Your head goes down. You start to bend. You want to hide. You want to run away. You don't want to show your face to anybody. A very good idea is to do that and then slowly get up and expand yourself. The way a tree, a seed which is buried below the ground, slowly starts sprouting and coming up, and then it spreads and it shows itself in full glory. And the fourth is understanding that a whole lot of shame comes from the socialization process. What does that mean? It means that you have been told what is good and what is not good. You have been told it's what is beautiful and what is not beautiful. You have been told which professions are better and which are not. A whole lot of shame in us comes from those messages that we have received. So a good idea would be to sit down and look at different messages that you have received and really evaluate them. Are they valid? If you think you don't look good, people don't like the way you look, question yourself, is there a data for it? Or is it because the media says so, because the world says so? Because some aunt, some uncle, maybe your mother, father, elder brother, elder sister, somebody has said this to you. Is this really true? And reminding yourself repeatedly that we have nothing to be ashamed of. If I have done something wrong, I can apologize, I can make corrections, I can ask what will better the situation. I cannot change the past. But it does not mean that my right to exist can be questioned. And therefore we have nothing to be ashamed of. If in some way you can overcome this, if shame can leave your body, then I can tell you with experience that experience of freedom becomes more and more accessible. So do try these things out. And of course, reach out to me and let me know what your experience is. My email ID is sanjyotp@gmail.com. See you soon. Thank you.
Help Talks are daily health-related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.